Hey there, pattern detectives. Welcome to a fun introduction to math patterns. Have you ever looked at a honeycomb and noticed the repeating six-sided shapes? Or maybe you've tapped your foot to the beat of your favorite song, feeling that familiar rhythm of verse, chorus, verse, chorus. These are both examples of patterns, and believe it or not, they are a huge part of mathematics. Today, we are going on an exciting adventure to become pattern detectives. Our mission is to uncover the hidden rules and secret codes that are all around us, from the numbers in our homework to the petals on a flower. You might think of math as just adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing, but it's so much more. Math is the science of patterns, and learning to see them will change the way you look at the world forever. Think of yourself as a detective, and patterns are the clues. When you find a pattern, you are one step closer to solving a mystery. In mathematics, these mysteries can be anything from figuring out what number comes next in a list to understanding how a beautiful snowflake gets its shape. It's a skill that helps us make sense of things that seem complicated at first. This isn't about memorizing boring rules. It's about training your brain to see connections and predict what will happen next. It's like having a superpower that lets you see the future, at least when it comes to numbers and shapes. So grab your imaginary magnifying glass and let's get ready to explore this incredible world together. So what exactly is a pattern? Let's break it down. A pattern is something that repeats in a logical, predictable way. It's not random or chaotic. It follows a specific rule or a set of rules. Think about a simple checkerboard. It has a repeating design of black and white squares. You know exactly what color will come next because there's a rule. Black, white, black, white. That predictable repetition is the heart of every pattern. It's like a secret code, and once you figure out the rule, you've cracked the code. This rule tells you how the pieces are related and how the pattern will continue. We can find patterns everywhere. Brick wall. Bricks laid in a repeating arrangement to make the wall strong. That's a pattern. Listen to a clock ticking. Tick-tock. Your daily schedule can also be a pattern. Wake up, eat breakfast, go to school, come home, do homework, eat dinner, go to sleep. This repeats every school day. The world is filled with predictable arrangements, and our brains notice them. It helps us make sense of things and know what to expect. In mathematics, patterns are extra special. They are the foundation for many big ideas. One of the most common places to find patterns in math is within lists of numbers. We call these lists sequences. A number sequence is simply an ordered list of numbers that follows a specific rule. The simplest ones are called arithmetic sequences. In these patterns, you add or subtract the same number every time to get to the next number in the sequence. For example, let's look at the sequence. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Can you spot the rule? The rule is add 5. Let's try another one. 30, 27, 24, 21. They are getting smaller. From 30 to 27 is a difference of -5. From 27 to 24 is also -5. The rule is subtract 3 each time. So the next number will be 18. These arithmetic sequences are like walking up or down a staircase. You are always taking a step of the same value. But not all number patterns involve adding or subtracting. Some use multiplication or division. These are called geometric sequences. In these patterns, you multiply or divide by the same number each time. 2, 4, 8, 16, 32. Instead, we are multiplying by 2. The rule is multiply by 2, so the next number would be 64. These patterns grow much faster than arithmetic sequences. Patterns aren't just made of numbers. They can also be made of shapes, colors, sizes. These are called shape patterns or geometric patterns. You see them in art, clothing, wallpaper, architecture. Just like number patterns, shape patterns follow a rule that tells you what comes next. The rule might be about the type of shape, color, size, position, or a combination of these things. For example, circle, square, circle, square. The rule is simple. Alternate between a circle and a square. You know the next shape will be a circle. Slightly more complex. Small red triangle, large blue triangle. Small red triangle, large blue triangle. Two things change: size and color. Size alternates, small, large. Color alternates, red, blue. The repeating unit is a small red triangle followed by a large blue triangle. Understanding this repeating unit helps you continue the pattern for as long as you want. Shape patterns are about finding that core repeating block. Okay, so you've seen what patterns look like. But, how do you actually find the rule when you're given a new, mysterious sequence? Becoming a pattern-finding pro is easy if you follow a few simple steps. Think of it as your official detective's handbook. The first step is always to observe and ask questions. Look closely at the first few items in the pattern. Are they numbers or shapes? Are they getting bigger or smaller? Are they changing color or position? Ask yourself, what is changing from one item to the next? This initial observation phase is the most important part because it's when you start gathering your clues. Step 2 is to look for the difference. For number patterns, this is a great strategy. Calculate the difference between consecutive numbers. Let's take the sequence 4, 7, 10, 13. The difference between 7 and 4 is 3. The difference between 10 and 7 is also 3. And the difference between 13 and 10 is 3 again. When you see a constant difference, you've likely found your rule. In this case, the rule is add 3. Step 3 is to state the rule. Once you think you've found the pattern, try to state the rule in a clear and simple sentence. Finally, step 4 is to test and predict. Use your rule to check if it works for all the items given in the pattern. Then use it to predict the next few items. So we can predict the next number will be 13 plus 3, which is 16. If your prediction seems logical and continues the pattern smoothly, you've successfully cracked the code. Section 6. Let's practice. Your first pattern-finding mission. Now that you have your detective handbook, it's time for your first mission. Let's put your skills to the test with a few fun exercises. Don't worry, these are designed to help you practice the steps we just learned. We'll start with a number pattern. Are you ready? Here is your first sequence, 50, 45, 40, 35, blank, blank. Your mission is to find the next two numbers in this pattern. First, let's observe. The numbers are getting smaller. Now, let's look for the difference. From 50 to 45 is a difference of -5. From 45 to 40 is also -5. The rule is subtract 5 each time. Now we can test it and predict. Starting with 35, if we subtract 5, we get 30. So the first blank is 30. We take our new number, 30, and apply the rule again. 30 minus 5 is 25. So the completed sequence is 50, 45, 40, 35, 30, 25. You did it. You successfully applied the steps to solve the mystery of the shrinking numbers. Let's try a shape pattern now. This one is a little different. Look at this sequence of shapes. A square with 1 dot inside a square with 2 dots, a square with 3 dots, blank, blank. What would the next two shapes in the pattern look like? Let's observe. The shape itself, the square, is not changing. The number of dots is increasing. Let's look for the difference. The first has 1 dot, the second has 2, the third has 3. The rule seems to be add 1 dot to the square each time. Following this rule, the fourth shape in the sequence should be a square with 4 dots inside. And the fifth shape should be a square with 5 dots inside. Mission accomplished. Section 7. Patterns aren't just for math class. Seeing them in your everyday life. You might be thinking, okay, this is fun for math class, but when will I ever use this in real life? The answer is, you use it every single day, probably without even realizing it. Recognizing patterns is a fundamental life skill that helps you navigate the world. Think about traffic lights, green, yellow, red, and then it repeats. Because you understand this pattern, you know when it's safe to cross the street and when you need to wait. This simple pattern keeps us safe every day. Music is another fantastic example. Your favorite songs are built on patterns. There's a pattern in the rhythm, the beat that makes you want to dance. There's also a pattern in the structure of the song. Verse, chorus, verse, chorus. Patterns are also crucial in nature. Winter, spring, summer, fall. This helps farmers know when to plant and when to harvest. The phases of the moon follow a pattern. New moon, full moon, and back again. Even your own habits and routines are patterns. Brush your teeth every morning, brush at night, pizza for dinner every Friday. That's a pattern too. Our brains like creating routines because they make life easier. We don't have to spend a lot of mental energy deciding. By recognizing patterns, you can make better decisions, understand how things work, and predict what might happen next. Pattern finding isn't just a math skill, it's a life skill. Section 8. Why do patterns matter? The superpower of prediction. We've talked about what patterns are and where to find them, but let's focus on the big question. Why do they matter so much? The most important reason is that patterns give us the power of prediction. When you can identify the rule of a pattern, you can figure out what will come next. This is like having a small superpower. In math, it allows you to solve problems by extending a sequence or finding a missing number. But in the real world, this superpower of prediction is what helps us plan for the future. It's the foundation of science technology and so much of human progress. Think about weather forecasting. Meteorologists, the scientists who study weather, look for patterns in temperature, wind speed, air pressure. By recognizing patterns from the past, for example, when these specific cloud formations appear, it usually rains, they can predict whether you need to bring an umbrella to school tomorrow. Their predictions aren't always perfect, but they are based on identifying and extending patterns in atmospheric data. Without this ability, we would have no idea what weather to expect. This predictive power helps us stay safe from storms and plan our activities. This superpower is also what drives innovation and discovery. Scientists look for patterns in their experiments. If they see a pattern, they can form a hypothesis or a scientific guess about why it's happening. This leads to new discoveries, like new medicines or new technologies. Engineers use patterns to design better and safer bridges, buildings, machines. They know that certain structural patterns are stronger than others. By using these proven patterns, they can predict that their creations will be strong and reliable. Every great invention, from the airplane to the internet, was born from someone recognizing a pattern and using it to create something new. On a personal level, understanding patterns helps you become a better problem solver. When you face a challenge, whether it's a tricky math problem or a disagreement with a friend, you can look for patterns. You can ask, have I seen a problem like this before? What worked last time? This allows you to use past experience to predict a good solution for the future. It helps you think logically and strategically instead of just guessing. So, learning to see patterns is more than just a math lesson. It's training for your brain that makes you a smarter, more prepared person in all areas of your life. Section 9. Your pattern adventure continues. A quick recap. We have been on an incredible journey today, exploring the amazing world of patterns. We've learned that a pattern is anything that repeats in a predictable, logical way, following a specific rule. They are not random, they are organized. We discovered that patterns are everywhere, not just in our math books, in nature, in music, in art, in our daily routines. From the simple beat of a song to the complex cycle of the seasons, our world is built on a foundation of beautiful and fascinating patterns. You've now got the eyes of a true pattern detective, ready to spot them wherever you go. We've also equipped you with the tools to be a master pattern finder. You now have a 4-step plan. Observe and ask questions. Look for the difference. State the rule. Test and predict. This method works for all kinds of patterns. Arithmetic number sequences, add or subtract. Geometric sequences, multiply or divide. Shape patterns that change in color, size, orientation. Remember that practice is key. The more you look for patterns, the better you will become at spotting them quickly and confidently. Most importantly, we learned why patterns are so crucial. They give us the superpower of prediction. This ability to predict what comes next lets us make sense of our world, from knowing when to cross the street safely to forecasting the weather. It is the engine of science, the blueprint for design, and a powerful tool for solving problems in our own lives. Recognizing patterns helps us think logically, plan for the future, and understand the connections that hold everything together. It's a skill that will help you in every subject you study and in everything you do. So, your adventure is really just beginning. I challenge you to keep your pattern detective eyes open from this day forward. Look for patterns on your walk home from school, in the games you play, and in the stories you read. Ask yourself, what's the rule here? See if you can predict what will happen next. Math is not just about finding the right answer. It's about understanding the beautiful logic and order that exists all around us. You have taken a huge step in seeing the world as a mathematician does. Keep exploring, stay curious, and never stop looking for the next pattern.